So I'd like to welcome everyone. We're going to have three presenters today, give you examples of how they are using technology to enhance learning. So our presenters for today, PowerPoint, our presenters for today are myself, but the real three that you're going to be interested in. We have Joshua, and if I pronounce your name wrong, just Renan. Is that correct, Josh? He's nodding. Good enough. And Lynn Sugden and Dr. Lyle Benson. Those are our three presenters for today. So you might ask them, okay, so what are you doing there? Well, what are you presenting on? So I'm going to present, and I'm not going to spend long. I'll take a bit of time. I'm hoping a little under 10 minutes. I'm going to present a framework that summarizes the unique power of technology to enhance learning. Basically, the things that technology can do that cannot be done with other means, and that's kind of what the framework is designed off of. And it's designed for discussion to spark ideas, and as a framework perhaps for going forward for blended and online show. All right, so perhaps we should start with just going quickly over what blended learning is. So blended learning is where we are basically taking the best of what can be done online and what can be done with technology, combining that, that's kind of on the left side there, combining that with the best of what can be done with face-to-face instruction. Notice I'm not saying classroom, because classroom is just one place where instruction can occur, and sort of I put some images here where other places where instruction and learning can occur. So that's what blended learning is. Okay, so let's just go over our goals for today's session. Here we go, session goals. Again, I'll review, and I won't spend long on the framework. And then the most important part, we've got our three examples from MacEwan School of Business that demonstrates effective blended learning. And one of the goals of this session is to encourage faculty and students, we actually have students attending as well, in attendance to develop and implement ICT enhancements for either online courses or traditional face-to-face courses. So that's kind of the intent of the session, is to give you some examples, but to then also create some actions. All right, so ICT is essentially the hardware and the software, but it's not only that. Information and communication technology is not only hardware and software, it is also process. In fact, that's what technology is. Technology is a tool for process. We look up the definition of technology. So ICT is also people. And in fact, ICT doesn't work without people. And in fact, that's really, in a sense, what the three examples are here today are that, sure, we've got all these great tools, but it takes the people. And that's why we're getting constant innovation. And even within a tool, you know, Facebook has been around since 2005, but we're continually seeing innovations on that platform. And the same with almost any technology, but especially sort of what I call platform technologies like Facebook, or platform technology like mobile devices. They're a platform for, well, for almost anything that people can think of. So that's what ICT is. And I'm going to quickly go over a framework that basically summarizes what ICT can enhance. And again, the idea, or the goal of the framework is to spark some ideas and discussions, and perhaps help in the development of blended and online learning. So yeah, so let's take a look at the framework here. Alrighty. Okay, so basically there's 5 powerful characteristics of ICT. So ICT, when it's harnessed properly, can make the following 5, potentially anyway, and we could certainly debate this, and today isn't necessarily a debate session, but hopefully it will spark some of that. The following 5 things may be perhaps better than ever. So let's take a look at those 5 things. So communication is one of the powers, and expression. Some very specific things, though, because you're going to say, well, we've always communicated. So what's new about that? Okay, what's new? We've got expanded access to a global audience. So through something like YouTube, which in fact we're using today. Now today's presentation will not be viewed by 1 billion people, but there are presentations that have been created and that go viral. And in fact, that's a new term. And that global audience is there, again, if the person has the passion, if they have that something to communicate. Communication as well with data visualizations, and just better organizing data. That's something that's a lot easier with technology. Third thing, we're using some of that here today, images, audio, video, animation. Don't have any animation for us here today. but also the fact that it can be recorded and accessed later. In fact, that's something that we can use a lot, and Lynn's going to talk about that, being able to access content later and enhance communication. So that's one of the powers. So what about the power of connection? So here we have social connection. We can connect socially a lot easier. We can also connect to content, and I don't have an image here for this, but connecting to content through simulation. So we can use simulations to connect individuals to content. And thirdly, with connection, we can connect and engage with environments in real world, and that's through, again, our mobile devices. And one of the examples would be augmented reality, which is essentially we're using a mobile device and we can see information in an environment. And it takes the user and says, look, a computer isn't something that you need to sit in front of, or maybe we should just call these things devices. These devices aren't things that we just sit in front of. These devices can be picked up, and especially the mobile ones, and what can we find in the environment? The fact that the mobile phones have cameras, they can hear, they've got accelerometers, they've got GPS, they've got gyroscopes. They have a lot of interesting tools inside them. So that's connection. Collaboration. I've got a video that I'll post actually beside this one. This is going to go on my YouTube channel. And it's a video that shows, it's a TED Talk, and it talks about a project. In fact, one of the members in the audience here, Travis, pointed me to this project that involves 750 million people collaborating together to do something. Well, in fact, that wasn't possible before. The largest collaborations ever in history before that were 100,000 people. So that's to go to the moon, and that's to build the pyramid. And those are the biggest groups that we could ever in the past collaborate before. But now we've got projects where 750, one specifically, where 750 million people, 10% of the world's population are collaborating. Okay, and inquiry. An inquiry is basically the opportunity of the vast amount of information, the vast amount of technologies requiring critical thinking. It all wraps up into innovation. And innovation is when we combine all of these in unique ways to basically solve problems, to create efficiencies, so innovation, productivity, and you know, there's a picture of Mr. Jobs there, perhaps one of our greatest, most recent innovators. Okay, so that's the framework. So now, let's see some examples. I believe Dr. Lyle Benson wanted to go first, so Lyle, would you like to?